What is up, everybody? Um, Back with another video, bruh. And this popped up in my recommended "How Bodybuilding Ruined My Life: The Dark Side of Teenage Bodybuilding" by Magnus Bulkin. So let's get into it.
So, there's a few reasons why I wanted to film this video. First of all, the gym is closed and I'm sick and tired of filming these home workouts. But most importantly, the second reason, I just feel like this is a very common problem amongst teenage bodybuilders. And it's also not talked about nearly as much as it should be talked about. So yeah, we're basically going to talk about the dark side of teenage bodybuilding. And this is definitely like a problem that I see pretty often. I get tons of DMs on Instagram about this as well, so I know that it's quite relevant. Before we address the problem when it comes to teenage bodybuilding, we first have to address how my life was like before that. So yeah, I was pretty fat, and as you probably can guess, I got somewhat bullied because of that. But yeah, thankfully that at least motivated me to transform my body. So that's what I did. And when I first started my diet, my diet was shit, I'm not gonna lie, I just ate in a huge calorie deficit, but it worked. So I did a long and horrible cut, and unfortunately that resulted in me getting anorexia just because, yeah, I didn't know when to stop. I just wanted a ripped six-pack. I think I weighed around like 36 or 38 kilos at my
Bruh. I understand you trying to do a bodybuilding video, bruh, but you should have left this pic out of here, bruh. This is bad. This is bad.
lowest, somewhere in between that. So yeah, I pretty much didn't weigh anything at all. As you can tell now, hopefully my abs are a bit better now and I weigh a lot more. So yeah, it just goes to show that it doesn't really matter how much body fat you have if you don't have thick abs at all. If you've never trained them, you probably should. But yeah, fast forward a bit, I lost that weight, I lost the fat, but I still wanted to bulk up, and I did want to do that originally ever since I became fat, but I just knew that I had to get rid of the fat and then focus on building muscle. So this was actually kind of like a long-term strategy, just that I did everything wrong that you possibly can. So yeah, don't do what I did. But anyways, I lost that weight and now I was finally ready to bulk up. And I was really motivated for that as well because I was still insecure. I was still getting shit from other people for, yeah, how I looked, for how skinny I was. So I still wanted to transform my body. I started working out. I started going to the gym. You know how many days a week I went to the gym? 7. So I was going to the gym 7 days a week.
Yeah,
I was there for 2 to 3 hours, and I
Yeah,
pretty
that's
much
bad, bro.
trained my entire
You gotta
body
give your
every
body
single
time to
day.
rest, bro.
And as you probably can tell, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And the results showed that as well. I didn't see results for shit. I got obviously like some progress, but I didn't even get beginner gains because, yeah, I overtrained to the point where I was always breaking down the muscle and it didn't recover. And because of that, I got some injuries, but despite
Yeah, I know
all
you
that,
got some
I
injuries.
still loved working out. It was now my passion. And unfortunately, I didn't have any other person who enjoyed training that was my friend as well. Because at that time, I was around 13 years old, maybe even a bit younger. So yeah, it wasn't normal to work out, to strength train and all that at that age. I was
Yeah,
spending
that's
all
bad, bro.
my
You
time in the gym. And
stunning
if I
your
wasn't in
growth.
the gym, I was eating food, I was tracking macros, I was watching YouTube, watching fitness YouTubers. So that was how I started lifting, and it doesn't take a smartass to realize that that wasn't ideal, but that's not even what this video is about. That was just like an intro to the story. But now we're going to talk about what's actually like the problem with teenage bodybuilding. We're going to be talking about how it affected my life. So by what I've already said, this is probably not gonna be a surprise, but yeah, I became completely obsessed with the gym. I was either at the gym, thinking of the gym, learning something that I can apply to the gym, or yeah, doing just something with the gym. I was never just with friends anymore. I was never at the dinner table with my family. Then I was at my room watching YouTube videos about strength training. And yeah, I basically completely isolated myself. Just imagine having this one passion and this is the only thing that matters to you in your life, and you have no one to talk about it with because, yeah, you're the only one in your friend group, in your family, or even, yeah, you're the only one you know of who actually enjoys doing that thing. So not only did I become a complete loner, but also I got a lot more insecure, just because, yeah, I might have gained some weight, but there was so many new things that I got insecure about, and I always just compare myself to everyone else. And since I came from such a low starting point, and since I don't have the best genetics, takes me many years to, yeah, even achieve a 1 plate bench. That's not so great. I just
Oh,
compare
one
myself
plate.
to everyone else all the time.
Oh my. A 1 plate bench? Come on
Even
now,
if
bro.
they weren't into lifting weights, if they had good genetics, then I would just become mad, and yeah, kind of like mad at them, because yeah, they had better genetics for me, so I had to work harder to obtain the same level of physique. Obviously that's just dumb thinking. I'm not like that anymore, but I know that a lot of teenagers are. And if everyone would just compare themselves to their previous selves, almost no one would be insecure and be sad all the time, because yeah, it doesn't matter what someone else has achieved or how they look, because genetics plays a big role, and obviously a lot more factors than just genetics. But yeah, bone structure, your muscle mass potential, your insertions, it all has to do with genetics. There's literally no benefit with just comparing yourself to anyone else. Just compare yourself to your previous self. If I say, oh, I'm sexy as fuck, I think I'm sexy as fuck compared to when I look ugly. If I say I'm strong as fuck, that means I'm strong compared to where I've been. Everyone is different, and if you do the same thing, the exact same program, the diet, etc., as someone else, you're going to get different results, and that's just how it is. And most people can always point out flaws in themselves, but they're not so good at pointing out what's better with themselves. So yeah, we just gotta become more positive, believe more in
Facts,
ourselves,
facts.
compare ourselves less to other people. I kind of went a bit off topic right now, but yeah, I just got really insecure and had a lot of sad and angry thoughts, just because I was always comparing myself to someone. They had bigger biceps than me, they had broader shoulders than me, they could gain strength and muscle easier than me. I just was mad at that all the time, and as you probably know, there's nothing I could do about it, so I would just keep getting mad. So obviously the correct way of thinking is just not to compare yourself to anyone. It's easier said than done, of course, but it's doable. So how has this unhealthy obsession with bodybuilding affected my life right now? Well, thankfully I'm a lot better at balancing stuff, and as I said, I don't compare myself to anyone else. Or sometimes, I have those quick slip-ups in my mind where I'm like, oh fuck, I'm not that guy, fuck, but then I just snap into it, and yeah, why are you comparing yourself, dumbass, just focus on yourself. And I'm like, oh shit, thanks Magnus. So I feel like I'm doing pretty good compared to what I was doing previously a few years ago. But when it comes to injuries, oh shit, I'm kind of like embarrassed about this, because I've accumulated so many injuries throughout the gym in such an
Your
early age,
age?
just because I was dumb.
Your
I sometimes
age?
get messages from people just kind of being like jealous because I started working out in such an early age. I started young, that's great, but I was dumb. When you're young, you're just dumb. You don't think of consequences as much, and you're just not as
Yeah.
intelligent. So that resulted in me just getting more injured. So if you're someone who's kind of mad at yourself for not starting at such an early age, just chill, bro. You probably would have gotten injured a few times because you were young and dumb. So yeah, just enjoy not being injured as I am right now, because it sucks. And by the way, this story of mine, I'm not telling it to get sympathy or anything like that. I just want to either make people aware of the problem, or just, yeah, help someone who's going through it, because I know that there's a lot of beginners in lifting, especially teens, who become way too obsessed with the gym. So it started off as a good thing, but now it's just a bad thing. They keep comparing themselves to others all the time, and even though they're working out and seeing some progress, they're not happier in their mind. They just have a lot So here's some advice I have for someone who's obsessed with bodybuilding, who's in his teenage years. Well, you just gotta learn how to balance it. If you get a new hobby, it's always going to be a lot more fun, enjoyable, and just exciting in the beginning, and progress is eventually going to occur a lot less frequently over time as well. That's just a side effect from being a more experienced lifter. And also remember, overtraining, it's a very real thing. You actually get worse results for the more effort you put into it. And that's crazy because most sports, let's say soccer, the more you practice, the better you get, right? But your muscles, when it comes to building muscle, it obviously isn't the same because
Completely
the way
different.
muscle growth is that you first give it something to grow for, so it's the training stimulus, but then you have to let it recover and adapt. So if you keep just breaking down the muscles, then you're not going to grow and see progress. So that's something that we want to avoid, right? It has been shown in a ton of studies as well that to a certain extent, if you do more, you're going to see less results. So don't do that shit. Let me know in the comment section below if you've had any similar experience when it comes to being obsessed with lifting or any of the other stuff I've talked about in this video, because this is something I see happening all the time with a ton of teenagers. They might look a bit better now than what they did when they first started lifting, but a lot of people develop such a bad mindset when it comes to lifting because they always compare themselves to other people and stuff. Sorry for that. So let's fix this common and not enough spoken about problem together. Well, yeah, leave it in the comments below if you have a story you want to share, as I've said. And I really hope that you enjoyed this video. This isn't like a typical video that I make, so I would greatly appreciate some feedback on what you think of this video. If you liked the video, please like the video. But if you didn't like the video, dislike it and tell me what.
Hey, but that's gonna be the end of this video, bro. WVid. You know what I'm saying? Like, comment, subscribe, and we out, cuz.